Hi, welcome back to Storytime with Dad Booker. Appreciate you coming back. Today we're going to continue on with Sheriff in a Small Town. We're going to go into chapter 20, and that is called Bonnie and Clyde. So let's start. Rocky was sitting in the office going over recent files. Talbot was home with the flu, and Agnes was answering the phone. She had dropped in to see if Rocky could take some time off. With Talbot away, it looked like that wasn't going to happen. Stretching and yawning, Rocky kissed Agnes goodbye. It was about time to do a run around town. Promising to bring back some lunch, he tossed the keys into his hand. Driving around with the radio on, his fingers softly drumming in time with the music, felt good. Approaching Main Street, he saw someone speed through the four-way without even slowing. Flipping on his lights and radioing in, he turned onto Main Street and headed in pursuit. The driver of the Corvette saw the lights and sped up, heading for the lake area. Well, at least they're heading out of town, Rocky muttered as he gave chase. The Corvette was making good speed, but Rocky had knowledge the driver didn't. The road ahead and through the fishing lake area was blocked from a falling tree. The driver spotted it with more than enough time to stop, but that wasn't in their plans. They sped up and on the gravel path, tried to spin into a U-turn to pass Rocky and head back into town. Rocky slid sideways in an attempt to block the Corvette's escape. The driver hit the accelerator while maneuvering the turn and did a 360, continuing to spin, heading them straight towards the lake's bank. A bare patch of dirt caught the right rear tire and launched the Corvette straight into the cold water. Rocky quickly called in to get an ambulance out there and then jumped out and dove into the lake. Water was filling the car quickly, and a quick check showed a small child of about a year in the back seat. Grabbing a rock, he broke the window and, carefully as possible, grabbed the child out. He yelled at the couple in the front seat to get the hell out. On the shore, lay the child onto the grass, then dove in again. He had the passenger side door open, and instead of trying to unbuckle the woman, just slit the belt and dragged her out. She clawed and writhed as Rocky tried to bring her to safety. He was fighting a losing battle with her and tossed her onto the partially submerged trunk. It was angled enough she was safe if she kept her head. She didn't. Rocky was inside the vehicle, holding his breath and trying to get the man out. As long as the man was still flailing, Rocky was certain he was alive. But rescuing him, the frantic female had taken time, and it was running out. The man had been holding his breath too long and was about to give out. The lady had the driver's side door open and was hindering Rocky's attempt to save the man. She was pulling on the strap and making it hard to cut without cutting the man. Now, figuring the man was in trouble, he slashed as carefully as he could, cutting the man slightly on the side. He pushed the man towards the lady, who was running out of air herself. Rocky emerged to the sound of sirens, dove over the car, and pushed the lady away. She had the man's arm still trapped in the strap, and all her pulling wasn't accomplishing anything. Rocky extricated the man and began swimming towards the shore. Shouting to the woman to see to her child, Rocky dragged the man on shore and began resuscitation. Blood was seeping from the man's side, and Rocky was doing his best to do resuscitation and hold on to the bleeding area at the same time. In the background, the silence mingled with the sound of the woman's crying and the baby's screams. The ambulance man had pulled Rocky away and began to work on him. After filling in the ambulance driver, Rocky approached the woman who had the child in a tight embrace. Too tight. The child was practically suffocated. Rocky tried to pull the child free while the lady cussed him out and accused him of causing the accident. From behind Rocky, a familiar, though hoarse voice berated the woman. Rocky pulled Talbot back. Not now. Not now. Now's not the time, pal. The ambulance driver was able to talk the child free and escorted the woman to the ambulance. Rocky moved the squad car and Talbot moved the truck. They would call Joe later to retrieve the vet. Rocky followed the ambulance and waited at the hospital for word on the man. Talbot headed up to the courthouse to write up what he'd seen. A loud, piercing scream told Rocky the man had died. Shaking his head at the needless loss of life, he went back to the office to write up his report. Talbot had already completed his portion of what he had witnessed and gone to take pictures and block off the site of the incident. Agnes rubbed Rocky's shoulders. He was distraught that he couldn't save the man's life. His report finished, he stood and resolutely fed the pages into the fax machine. You know, we're probably going to have to go through an inquiry. I just know she's going to lodge a complaint saying I caused the accident. He called Morgan when he was done to see if he knew anything else he could do. Morgan showed up after a while. This was one of the times Rocky would need the guidance of an older hand. From what he could tell, Rocky had handled the situation properly, and as well as anyone could. Even so, Rocky was going to be shaky for a while. When Morgan walked in, Rocky was speaking to the county district attorney on the phone. Sure enough, the young woman had wasted no time in filing a complaint on Rocky. The DA would be there in half an hour. Talbot radioed that he was at the scene and it was secure. He'd remain on the site until their team arrived. Excuse me, I need a little drink. Not good one-handed. Hopefully I didn't put the label on there. No one's sponsoring me, so they don't get free publicity. At the site of the didn't help, did it? At the site of the accident, an investigation team was walking around carefully taking pictures of the depressions in the gravel. Rocky had been going slow, and from the wheels of the Corvette, it was clear it was going at a high rate of speed. Rocky and Talbot again gave their version of events. The inspector, standing in the center of the site, looked over the evidence. Well, from the looks of things, we can verify your statements. Spray of rocks on his turn, the fact that he did more than one 360 without slacking speed, lack of tread where he entered the lake, distance, etc. You can have whatever you asked, or whoever you asked, pull the vehicle out now. He looked over his notebook to Rocky. Sheriff, did you pull your gun at any time? Rocky squared his shoulders. No, sir. So when you blocked the lane with your car, it was just to keep them in this area. Yeah, I didn't want a high-speed chase around town. The path was clear for Joe to pull out the vehicle. Loaded with water, it was a slow process. Joe halted and closed the doors, which sped things up a bit. When the water drained, the inspector looked over the inside thoroughly, while another man took more pictures. A cab drew up and the woman and child emerged. When she saw the trunk going up, she turned and ran. One of the inspectors gave chase. In the back were a couple of paper lunch bags of money and several guns. The woman was caught, and a call was put in for a matron to place the child in foster care. The county attorney shook Rocky's hand. Yeah, it seems we've got the couple who have been robbing places up the interstate. Started in Rhode Island and have been making their way across the country. Regular sort of Bonnie and Clyde type. In the back, Morgan puffed up with pride at his son-in-law and the deputy Rocky had chosen. He was sure a new addition to the wall of the Historical Society would be included soon. Okay, that's it. The next chapter is Cat and Mouse. These are kind of short chapters coming up, so we'll get through these pretty quick. Not sure what we'll do next after we get done with this one, but we'll see. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this again because nobody emailed me. If you are enjoying these and want a copy of this book, send me an email to timeiswaswillbe@gmail.com. 10 people will get a copy. Actually, the first person to do this will get a copy. I'll get more books and then we'll do more later just to give out more. But give me your information and I'll send you a free copy. In fact, I'll give you the one we're reading. So that's it for today. I look forward to seeing you again on our next reading. Thank you for visiting and take it easy. Have a good day. Bye. Oh, one last thing. Put down the chapter that we were reading, so I know which video you were looking at. All right, talk to you later. Have a good day. Be good to yourself.